We have some major updates about the Joel Embiid situation in Philadelphia from an NBA insider. He reports that the Philadelphia 76ers have actually responded to the New York Knicks trade offer for Joel Embiid. But not only that, this insider also reveals Joel Embiid's status in Philadelphia right now. We're going to break down this story, give you all the updates that you need. So be sure you're subscribed to the channel and turn notifications on so you never miss a second of our new content. And now, let's get started. The 76ers have actually responded to the New York Knicks trade offer for Joel Embiid. So if you've been following this story over the last few days, you've seen the New York Knicks' pursuit of Joel Embiid intensify, to the extent that reports have leaked out showing what the New York Knicks would be comfortable offering up for Joel Embiid in a potential deal. But now, thanks to SNY's Ian Begley, also an NBA insider, he's been hearing all of these reports. If you've not been following, these are the reports that have been coming out of the last few days. According to one Philadelphia Inquirer, they stated that the Knicks were willing to package 3 key players and 2 or 3 first-round picks in exchange for Joel Embiid. Then on top of that, Bleacher Report noted that Embiid had experienced a fair share of upheaval with the Sixers, and rival teams are keeping a close eye on how much more he's willing to endure. So that was the reports coming out of the 76ers organization, at least according to these outlets over the last few days. But then Ian Begley, one of the best insiders that I know that covers the New York Knicks, saw these reports and then said to himself, you know what? I'm hearing a lot of reports. Let me go check in with my sources with the Philadelphia 76ers and see what they have to say. And that's exactly what he did. And then he gave us these great updates. According to Ian Begley, given the recent reports, he wanted to check in with the Philadelphia 76ers sources that he knew and wanted to verify if anything had changed. And per people that he checked in with that were familiar with the situation, he noted that nothing had changed. Those people reiterated that the organization believes that Embiid is committed to competing for a title with the 76ers and finishing his career in Philadelphia. They also noted that in general, Philadelphia was unmoved by the reported package for Joel Embiid from the New York Knicks. They didn't take it seriously, according to one person in the Philadelphia 76ers organization. Shout out to Ian Begley for giving us this major update here on Joel Embiid and his status with the Philadelphia 76ers. 2 main things to take away from this. Number 1, Philadelphia and Joel Embiid seem to be good right now. According to the sources coming from the 76ers organization, Joel Embiid, he's good. He's happy with the 76ers. He wants to finish his career with the 76ers, and he wants to compete for a championship with the 76ers. Those things have not changed. That's the first thing. But I think the main takeaway here, the main thing, that even if Joel Embiid was on the table, even if they were entertaining a trade for Joel Embiid, the proposed trade that the New York Knicks gave and offered, which if you guys didn't know, were basically they gave up Julius Randle, RJ Barrett, Evan Fournier, Mitchell Robinson, any 3 of those 4 players, and 2 or 3 unprotected, likely, first-round picks. That was the reported trade package offered by the New York Knicks in order to get Joel Embiid. And as you just heard from Ian Begley, the Sixers, after they saw that offer, they were unmoved. It didn't change them whatsoever. It didn't make them second guess them wanting to put Joel Embiid on the table to potentially trade him to the New York Knicks or any team for that matter. And that says a lot. That means that in any trade that Joel Embiid is going to be on the table for with the 76ers, they're going to want a lot more picks, a lot more players, and a lot more assets. And if you're Leon Rose and you're hearing this, you gotta feel a type of way. You gotta feel bad, and you gotta feel like the dream, your hope of getting Joel Embiid, is a little bit gone. Because if you have to deal with Daryl Morey, and you already have showcased you do not want to give up the farm to get any one of these star players, these are all recipes for disaster if you're trying to get Joel Embiid from the 76ers. And for me, unfortunately, it signals the fact that the New York Knicks may look elsewhere to get that star. May look to Minnesota to get that star. May look to Karl Anthony Towns to get that star. Because the Joel Embiid situation is no secret for the New York Knicks. That's the prize. That's the number one person that the Knicks want. But if they can't get him, they're going to go to option number 2, 3, 4, and 5. And the number 2 option for the New York Knicks, if they can't land Joel Embiid, is Karl Anthony Towns. And that scares me, folks. That scares me a lot because I do not want Cat on this team. I don't think he moves the needle. He does not help this team get better. Joel Embiid, he's a game changer. He makes the New York Knicks better, especially if you can retain most of your assets in that type of trade. But getting Cat as basically your consolation prize? No, I don't accept. I don't want it. I hope the Knicks don't do that, but they might be forced to do that if Joel Embiid is off the table. And honestly, guys, I think if the Knicks went after Cat, it would put the franchise back a few years. It would be going in the wrong direction. And even if you want to sell me that you could potentially flip Cat in the future for another high-level player or star, I still have to endure that contract and those years of Cat on the New York Knicks, making the Knicks not that much better. And I don't want to have to see that. And I don't want to have to give up significant assets to do that. And then I have to work with less assets in order to get that other star player. And I don't want to have to put the New York Knicks through that, especially with this new CBA. With the closer you get to the second apron, the more you're going to pay. And I don't want the New York Knicks, my franchise, the team that I love so much, to experience that. I don't want that to happen. And shout out to Ian Begley for also reporting the following. He stated that the New York Knicks own all of their future first-round picks. They also have 4 additional first-rounders via trade, though most of them are lottery protected. So the New York Knicks have ample draft capital to offer in potential trades. But here's the biggest thing that Begley stated here. Any discussion for an Embiid trade is a waste of time until he requests a trade from the organization. Absolutely 100% agree with Begley here. There is no point, 0 point, of talking about Joel Embiid, him coming to the Knicks, him joining the Knicks, if he hasn't even done the prerequisites for him to join the Knicks, which would be, Daryl Morey, 76ers organization, trade me. I don't want to be here. I don't like how you guys are moving, and I don't like what you guys are doing. That's the first step. Once that happens, then we can start entertaining the fact of, oh yeah, Joel Embiid, maybe he can join the Knicks. Oh yes, Joel Embiid, he can definitely be a New York Knick. I can see Leon Rose trading for him. Let's first get the prerequisites out of the fact and out of the way first. And once we can do that and get that taken care of, then we can start talking about that Joel Embiid trade. But until then, there's really not much to talk about. But the biggest takeaway from Begley's report is that they basically scoffed, the 76ers anyways, at the New York Knicks trade offer. That is so telling. Daryl Morey is going to want everything that the New York Knicks or any team has when they are going for and trying to trade for Joel Embiid. That's going to put that franchise back a little bit because Joel Embiid is great. But if you have nothing to surround Joel Embiid with, why are you making the trade in the first place? There's going to have to be something that's worked out here. Some parties, both parties in this case, are going to have to basically come to terms and say, we're both going to have to sacrifice. We're not going to get everything that we want, but we're going to be at least able to get some pieces and parts back that we're able to build with and move forward with. And I think that's what's going to happen in a Joel Embiid trade or now moving forward, any superstar trade. Because if that doesn't happen, I don't think both parties are going to be motivated to get a deal done. And I think it's important to talk about that, especially a player in Joel Embiid, a player that the New York Knicks have basically had their eye on since the offseason, maybe even before that. So this is very important to talk about. I don't know what Leon Rose is going to do with this information. Basically hearing that the 76ers were unmoved by their trade offer. Is Leon Rose going to offer more if Joel Embiid's on the table? Or will he basically say, you know what? If this trade offer is not enough to get the player that I want, then nothing that I'm going to be comfortable in offering is going to be enough. And if that's the case, that might make Leon Rose. This might push Leon Rose to look elsewhere for that star and go after some of the stars we may not want him to go after. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, though. I would really love to know what you guys feel about this Joel Embiid situation. What do you think happens? Do you think Joel Embiid is a 76er for his entire career? Or do you think this is a front created by the 76ers here to basically stall out and give Joel Embiid more time to make that decision? Let me know in the comments what you believe, because honestly, guys, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button. Leave a comment below. But of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knicks fans. Peace.